on board the Amsterdam, part of the Holland America Cruise Line. She's one of a reported 100,000 stranded at sea since the start of the pandemic. Joanne was docked in Manila, hoping to get home to Chicago.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Joanne and her husband work as future cruise consultants. They've been without passengers on board for more than 2 months, but have remained on board stranded at sea due to the coronavirus pandemic. The CDC issued a no-sail order mandating that crew members can only leave the ship if they are transported by charter aircraft or private vehicles, no rental cars or taxis, and no commercial flights.
You can imagine not only the logistics, but the cost of that.
For weeks, Joanne says she has had to pass the time while also social distancing from the other 1,200 or so crew members on board.
A lot of us are readers. We sit around in our various spots, socially distanced read and chat.
The pandemic has stranded thousands of crew members on various ships around the world. The United States Coast Guard told me it's monitoring 59 cruise ships in U.S. waters, carrying about 39,000 crew members. Another 25 ships are moored in U.S. ports with about 11,500 crew on board, all waiting to get home.
Most of us are not being paid anymore. It's really frustrating, and the governments, all the governments, just don't care. You know, they put us out there as pariahs.
Caio Saldanha has also been stranded at sea for about 2 months. He's from Brazil and works as a DJ for Celebrity Cruises, part of Royal Caribbean.
We have this feeling that we are prisoners.
For a while, Caio and his fiancée shared this small windowless room, which he says caused anxiety and terrible nightmares.
We cannot get out at any chance. It was like a torture.
Caio hopes to go home next week and find work. He says he's only getting paid $13 a day, which will max out at $400.
We are feeling that our psychological side is degrading day by day.
In an email, Royal Caribbean told us getting all of our crew home safely remains our top priority, adding they've repatriated over 17,000 crew members. The cruise line says its actions have been guided by medical experts and authorities. Meanwhile, Melinda Mann is happy to be home in Georgia after nearly 2 months at sea. A youth program manager for Holland America, she got home May 8th.
I definitely felt like a prisoner. I'm an American citizen. You can't just lock me out of the country when I've done nothing wrong.
Carnival Corporation, which oversees Holland America, has told CNN earlier this month logistical problems made it tough to get employees home. In a statement, Carnival Corporation said this has become more difficult in recent days because of port closings and other travel restrictions, but we continue to make strong progress. All of this really apparently weighing on crew members and showing up, Don, in signs of mental distress. Princess Cruises has confirmed the death of a 39-year-old Ukrainian crew member who jumped overboard, and Rotterdam is now calling that a suicide. Also, another crew member on Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas went overboard. The cruise line says they're assisting in that investigation. And then on top of that, you have these members of the Romanian crew team who are now holding a hunger strike to call attention to their plight, to call attention to their fight home. The Royal Caribbean says that that situation has been resolved, but still, Don, a lot of frustration, a lot of concern about their next job, their next paycheck, and how they are going to get home.
Can't even imagine. So, Brandy, with all the restrictions, what has the trip been like for those crew members who did get home?
Well, we spoke to that one woman, Melinda Mann, who did get home to Georgia, and she said she called it ridiculous, her trip. They put her on a private jet because she wasn't allowed to fly in a commercial airline, but they flew her to Florida, and they dropped her in Florida, which was 7 hours away from her parents' home in Georgia. And because she wasn't allowed to rent a car or take any public transportation, her mother drove from Georgia 7 hours to Florida to pick her up, and then on the way home, they weren't allowed to stop at a bathroom, they weren't allowed to stop to get food, they weren't allowed to see anyone, they had to go directly home.
Goodness. Do crew members need to quarantine? I would imagine once they do get home, right?
Yeah, they do. Melinda, who we spoke with, the one from Georgia, who I just mentioned, she had to quarantine as well for 14 days. Why? That's also why she couldn't stop to see anyone. And then Joanne, who is flying home just overnight tonight, she said that she plans to do a little bit of gardening when she gets home to Chicago, and then will lock herself inside for 14 days before she can see any other family members.
So, Randy, usually, well, I should say, we get feedback on a lot of pieces, but I can't tell you how much feedback I got on your piece last night with Tracy was showing all the germs. What is it?
With the germ spread,
Glow
the
gel,
contact
whatever it is.
spread.
Yes. Unbelievable. Everyone texted me and commented on that. There it is, there's the video. I mean, it is really shocking to see how this stuff can spread.
Yeah, I think you and I, Don, we can maybe safely make a reservation to go out for dinner together in 2022.
I don't know, maybe 2024.
Maybe 2024. I mean, because you think about it, you think about the spread and those germs, and they're not visible by the naked eye.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even I touched that woman's shoulder, and you could see the germs on her clothing.
Yeah, well, it shows you what can happen. Thank you, Randy. You stay safe, okay? It's good to see you. Thanks.
You too. Thank you.
New development.